Hello everyone and welcome to another World of Warships video. This one is all about the Omaha, and to start off, the Omaha is essentially the Phoenix. The two ships are incredibly similar. In fact, it's the same hull, much the same in every respect, apart from the Omaha has an upgrade. It has these two turrets I'm showing you here, and it also has two extra torpedo tube launchers on each side, and by two extra sets I mean, so it can launch 6 torpedoes from each side. This drastically increases the teeth, mainly the turret cannons, because that's 4 extra cannons on a broadside, which drastically increases the damage on the ship. I also choose not to fully upgrade this ship because I feel it is better with the extra teeth instead of having the extra anti-air that the last upgrade gives you. So let's get on to some gameplay, considering I've already talked about the ship quite a bit, considering it's the same as the Phoenix. This is the first game I've got for you today. I am top tier and the game looks relatively even on all regards, even carriers, even battleships, even everything. And I feel a larger responsibility than I would in most games, considering I am top tier and a cruiser, so I am expecting a lot out of me this game. I'll skipping ahead to when the action starts as always. And here we've just got a couple of cruisers ahead of us. We're starting to open fire on one. Nearly hit my ally here because we're both driving pretty close, but we just avoid it. We also see some more ships coming in, and so it looks like they are actually got quite a few that are coming this side, but still not too much that I'd be worried at this point yet. As always, I'm in a cruiser, so I'm spewing shells. Omaha, Phoenix. Only difference here really is that in the Omaha you've got a much nicer broadside. You've got those 4 extra guns, which it's like you've got 1.5 the firepower. It's really nice firepower. It's still nowhere near as good as the St. Louis for its tier at a broadside, but it's still got quite a nice broadside. You'll be setting enemies on fire quite a bit because you've got a large number of guns, and each time you hit you've got a percentage of setting them on fire. So yeah, it's quite a good wee broadsidey ship for that. The torpedoes aren't that great. They're American torpedoes. They've not got really the range, but they are there for that wee extra bite if an enemy does get too close. A wee sting in your tail, so to speak. And here I decided to leave some torpedoes in the water just in case he decides to turn around and come back this way around the little mountain, but I doubt this at this point. It was just here that I noticed that that island was not just over there, it is actually quite large, and I'm driving into it. Ah, I fail again. Oh well, at least there's not a lot of enemy ships right where that can, well, right there that can see me. That one that could see me has just died. Just speeding things up as usual till we get back in the action. He's pulling around that corner, so let's get some shots on him. He still has quite a fair bit of health on him at the moment, but he is starting to attract a lot of attention from me quite close. He's about to be quite worried about that, and some ships over to my left are firing at him. He realises he's in trouble now, so he is pulling away. I'm getting some shots onto some faraway enemies, Rose I can't shoot at him. And then we come around the corner, blam, some shots into him, and a few more, and I don't see him lasting long, but we'll be as well getting the torpedoes off just in case. Just in case? Maybe? Yes? No? Will we die? Yeah, he goes down before those torpedoes get him. Now here I've put myself into a remarkably similar situation than to what he was in. So I decide, right, I need to pull over to my right, get in behind those islands, then over and support my allies on the right, because if I stay here, the whole of the enemy team will be open to firing at me, which you can see I'm already taking fire from over there, and I could take fire from the rear, and I could take fire from those guys over here I'm shooting at. So I really need to get over here and behind this island. Some allied torpedoes, I don't know what they were aiming at. From my perspective it looked like they were aimed at me, but a bit too far forward. But You don't know. They could have just went past their opponent that they've already killed or something. Like my torpedoes could have done something similar to them and I didn't even realise. I don't think they did though. Shouldn't have. Now we come over here and we start shooting at this battleship. We've already got him on fire, so that his health is going to be trickling down. And Blood Claw, look where you're sailing. Blood Claw, bad Blood Claw. Look where you're going, man. That's twice this game you've done something like that. It's because you spend most of your time looking at the broadside in this game. It's way too easy to get tunnel vision. That and the periscope. Those two things mean tunnel vision is uber bad for you in this. In fact, the only time it's really hard to get tunnel visioned is when you're in the carrier. And the fire damage secured us that kill there. Lovely jubbly. So we've done quite a lot of fire damage so far. We've done quite a lot of shell damage. Let's see what else we can get doing. I'm going to start firing and trying to set this battleship on fire now. Looks like he's already been set on fire by somebody. And in a situation like that where someone else sets him on fire, I have mixed feelings. Because it's like, yes, the guy I'm trying to set on fire is already on fire. That's great for my team. Then the glory hunter and experience needing to upgrade my ship, me, goes, no, I wanted to be the one that set him on fire. But actually, quite luckily for me and unlucky for my ally that did set him on fire first, he repaired that fire, and then as soon as he repaired it, I set him on fire. So that's kind of like a win-win-win situation for me, and a win-lose-win situation for my ally. I switch up my targets here as I'd see a destroyer, and yous know it by now, folks. I'm not even going to say it. In fact, I will say it just in case this is your first one of my videos yous are watching. You see a destroyer, you're in a cruiser, spew shells at them. Okay? Got it? Right. I'm going to just make a meme or something like spew shells at the destroyer. Like every video, you're going to get that, apart from the ones about cruisers. When, well, the ones you're not in cruisers, if I can actually say what I'm thinking. The destroyer is out of our line of sight now, so we went back after that battleship, who did not last long. So we come over here and we're about to see a great example of plunging fire. Now, in most sort of game mechanic sort of ways, when you see an enemy like that just behind a hill, you wouldn't be able to hit them. In World of Warships, that is not the case. When they're, I'd say, over half your range, I'd say over 3/4 of your range, there's this mechanic called plunging fire. You can see in my shells going in over here, they're go up to their maximum height and then they lose velocity really fast and plunge down towards the ground. That means you can arc your shots over mountains, over hills, and even over allied ships and hit your enemies. It is very good in combination with AP shots to get the plunging fire through the enemy's deck and get those lovely citadel penetrations for massive amounts of damage. I generally use heat a lot when I'm in lower tiered cruisers because their guns aren't as powerful as battleships or the higher tier ones, but still you can get some really beautiful headshots, so to speak. Speeding up as we're now chasing this cruiser. In fact, I don't think we are speeding up anymore. No, we're not, but we are chasing him nonetheless. I've got just under half of my health left. I've been watching my map, so I know all the enemies are in this corner, so I'm quite happy. And there goes another destroyer. These have heard it once this video, these need to hear it again. Spew those shells at the destroyer. Okay, you got that, little man? Good. That destroyer does not last long. Even though it's not me that hits him, I still was doing the right thing by my team by trying to take him out. He's also the biggest threat to my team at the moment with his torpedoes. Yeah, little destroyer with torpedoes. In comes a load of torpedoes from those aircraft, but don't know where they were heading. Not towards me anyway, that's for sure. I now start trying to take out this aircraft carrier, mainly setting his flight on deck is my main goal really, just so he can't launch or receive any more planes. So the heat is going towards him. We've got him on fire, but I'm expecting him to repair that. At least I would if my repair was available, so I'm still just spamming HE at him because he's nearly dead now anyway. Not that it really matters. There we go, and we got the kill on him as well. Now we've just got that one wee cruiser I've been chasing for a while now. He's reversing, as all good captains do. You know that reverse, so much harder to hit someone when they're reversing. Yeah. In case you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic there, but I didn't put much of it into my voice. Now we've got this guy cornered. He's got the edge of the map to run away to, and that is it. And we're spewing some shells. We're spewing some shells at him. He's got some good hits on me. I didn't have much health left anyway, so I'm running out of health. I'm probably going to die here is what I'm thinking. And I'm going to try and get a torpedo spread off just before I die. He's a cruiser though, so he should be able to avoid it. But the edge of the map's there. But underestimate how much the edge of the map pushes you to the side when you're driving into it, and so those torpedo spreads miss him by a smidgen. Well, a bit more than a smidgen, because there you see him powering off because he's on the edge of the map without even turning. So get over here and you see he's the last ship. That last torpedo kills him. There we go. Victory, a nice victory. We got a great amount of money and experience. We came second top of our team with a lovely little Kuma coming top. And you can see all the lovely jubbly damage we did. That was a slightly above average game, I'd say, for the Omaha. I was going to say Phoenix there, but the two are essentially the same ship at tier 4 and 5. Now, moving on to the next game for today. This looks like another tier 5 game to me, but it's not as balanced as the first one. We have a slight battleship advantage. No, that looks similar. No, yeah, we do have a slight battleship advantage, and they have a slight carrier advantage. We have a slight destroyer advantage. So it's overall balance is quite well, but internal for like the carrier, he's gonna have a bad time. Or is he? I don't know. I'm not spoiling anything. Skipping ahead as always till we get to the battle, actual battle, not the driving towards each other. And in this game, that was actually quite a bit, because I came steaming down here with a little ally that was a Kuma. I'm pretty sure it's a Kuma, I'll show you in a second. There he is there, my wee ally buddy. Yep, he's a Kuma. And we didn't see anyone until we got basically into their half of the map and seen this battleship. So I'll spew some HE over towards him, hoping to set him on fire, but I know his repair is going to be there, so the fire's not really going to do anything, because he'll just repair it straight away. Speeding up now till I get back into the action. Just kissed the border of the map there, didn't even realise I was that close to it. Pulling on over and up, we should be coming up to him shortly. And there we go, back to shooting the HE at him. We've landed 5 shells there, that was quite nice. Sending some more. We've set him on fire, there we go, that's what I want. That's what we want to see, because that fire damage really does mount up quite fast. Especially when you're landing a lot of shells. It's like an MMORPG when you dot damage over time. It builds up quite fast. Especially when you've got them on fire on multiple sections of a ship, and your shells are still landing on them, so that's 4 sources of damage. Also racks up the experience and points really fast for you. But now that he is down and out for the count, I'll skip forward a wee bit, well, speed up a wee bit, until we get back into the action, and here is another cruiser. Now, see those torpedo bombers? I could have sworn they'd just dropped their loads onto my ally Kuma here, and it looked like they got one hit off. So when they were coming over me here, I didn't even bother to avoid them. Then when I seen those torpedoes last second, my heart sank and then soared as I realised they're bound to be way too close. So yeah, those torpedoes did no damage at all because they didn't have time to arm and detonate. So they just bounced harmlessly off of my hull without even leaving a scratch. I start concentrating on that enemy cruiser again, pumping some shells over in his direction. It looks like our ally has set him on fire, which is beautiful. So his health will be trickling away before his eyes without him able to do anything about it, because he obviously doesn't have his repair at the moment. Either that or he's saving it because he's expecting either lots of fires about to happen or some nasty critical hits. Our ally in the Kuma though has actually started to take a lot of damage. And we've now set him on fire after that original fire disappeared, so he must have used his repair. But R.I.P. Kuma. You were a good help to us. Right, anyway, that's enough of that. Coming around here, I now see a battleship and a cruiser we were shooting at earlier. I'm not feeling that confident, but I'm expecting to go down fighting and dealing lots of damage to them, letting my team come in and take care of the rest of the team and then finish these guys off. Well, that was my plan at the moment anyway, because I didn't want to try and outrun them, because I didn't want to just leave and go back and then have to come all the way back, if you get what I mean. But there we go, that's me taking damage for the first time in this game, just there. I swapped targets over to the battleship because he's actually moving towards me, whereas the cruiser looks like he'll be leaving firing range shortly. So I want to do as much damage to this battleship. He'll be easier to hit, easier to set on fire, and to set on fire in multiple locations. I set him on fire, but he repaired it, and I just set him on fire straight away again. Oh, whoa, that was a big hit. So that's another citadel penetration, another citadel penetration, and what the hell has happened to my health? A second ago I was full health, and then I died. So I fast rewound back to just after I took my first hit of damage, and look how fast it was from going to full health to no health. That was fast. That is what citadel penetrations can do to you. The Phoenix is pretty low health ship. It's a fast maneuverable, not a lot of health kind of ship. Nowhere near as bad as some of the others, like destroyers, but still. That was a hell of a fast way to die. I was expecting to last at least 2-3 times that length of time. Now jumping about is there's not much to do. And then there's some torpedo hits here. Just misses them. Lovely, nice work there, my fellow captain. And once again, I'm jumping around trying to find some juicy bit of action for you to watch. There's really not a lot going on by the looks of it right now. Everyone is just moving around trying to get into better positions. This carrier just narrowly avoided getting killed, but I don't think he's got any planes left, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. Then, oh, I love this bit. Something deep down just speaks to me as watching huge, slow, lumbering ships or war machines slowly manoeuvring around and slowly firing lots of shots at the enemy. There's just something beautiful about it. It speaks to me deep down. I mean, just look at that. That is beautiful. Such a beautiful game, this game. Come over, look at this guy again, just trading shots back over to this battleship. And he is fighting another battleship. This looks like it might be worth watching. This is the Mayogi. It's a lovely ship. My main problem with it is that it's only got the 3 turrets, which is 6 guns. Much more. I'm used to the American equivalents, which has a lot more guns. It's got the 4 and the 5 and the the Arkansas, Beta, and the Wyoming have a lot of guns. Let's just leave it at that. And the torpedo bombers are coming in over from the left again. He starts turning, but what the hell was that? You think he would have learned his lesson from when he tried to hit me? You can't drop your torpedoes that close. But that is great news for our Mayogi captain, as he can now concentrate on killing his rival. Now here you can see all the secondary batteries are starting to open up and fire on his opponent. All those little tiny guns, they're great for setting your opponent on fire and doing damage over time, kinda like setting them on fire. And children scream in the background as that ship goes down. Speeding things on up again, and when you speed up a battleship, to me it doesn't look like you're speeding the game up at all. At least at 2 times speed. Maybe I should have sped this up to 4 times speed, because battleships be slow and lumbersome. I do use 4 times speed a lot more than I used to now though. And moving on, hopefully soon. Battleships take forever to move around. Yeah, definitely should have sped this up by 4%. You know what? I'm going to stop here and pause it, record the next bit of it in 4%. Okay, there's not really much of it to be recorded at 4% because I mucked up, but oh well. Jumping on back down to the 2% as I get here, and well, I'm not going to say anything quite yet because I've got a wee bit to fill and I don't want to spoil things, so I'm going to wait till it's a wee bit closer to time to spill the beans on what is about to happen. But yeah, you thought my death was fast? Wait till you see how fast this guy dies. I was gobsmacked. You watching? You watching? Headshot! Jumping around, there's nothing much interesting happening anymore once again. Yeah, the rest of this game does seem a wee bit slow. Does it give you an impersonation? Has anyone guessed how this one ends yet? It does have a very similar ending to how the game feels. Now, apart from the fast Fs, we've got some more torpedoes coming in. Will our Mayogi hero from earlier be able to dodge them? Nope. Dodges most of them, but takes one hit and nearly kills them. Ever so nearly kills them. And once again, speeding up battleships doesn't seem to have an effect. Battleships are so slow, sometimes I wish I could get out, jump off the back of the boat and shove it. Or get a line in front of me, hook it to me and pull it. But we see some more torpedo bombers coming over. It looks like the carrier is going to try and kill and finish off this Mayogi. That is two things I said with one meaning. He does manage to get some more shells off and do a wee bit more damage and help our team a wee bit more, but here they come. Well, maybe not quite yet. They're coming though. There they are. There are the torpedoes, and blam, he wasn't able to dodge those ones either. Jumping around now as there's nothing really to look at. Why did it have to be another battleship? Come on. I enjoy the battleship play just for this single fact of those citadel penetrations are beastly. But watching it, I don't find that fun. Come on now. Let's see some action. Come on. He dodged those torpedoes. Coming up trying to kill those last two carriers. That's all they've got left. And you got to take a look at the time on the clock though. It's the time on the clock. We would have had this. It would have been a win. But look, we've got no time left. Yeah, so it's a draw. And to insult to injury, watch what just happens. It's like literally seconds before the game ends. Blam. Game ends. We win. No, we draw. Yeah, we didn't win. We drew. Pitiful money and experience. Second top of our team. Yeah. This game was definitely nothing to write home about, but I'm not going to be all about showing you my good replays and acting like I'm the best player in the world. I'm going to be showing you some of the trollops too. So now we're going to be moving on to a much nicer game, the third game. Now I'm pretty sure this is a tier 6 game. I should show you in a few seconds. Today would be nice Blood Claw. There we go, good Blood Claw. Yep, it's a tier 6 game, and I'm too lazy to work out who has the advantage where from just a quick look or a quick glance over. It looks pretty average, and so it looks like it's a pretty balanced game. Now this game, I really wished I was in the ship after this one, the tier 6 cruiser, if I actually stopped slipping up here. As always, skip ahead to when the action starts. There was a destroyer just there a few seconds ago, and that's why I'm pumping some shells into the air. Well, you can tell there was a destroyer because of the fog, but we spotted them just before the recording started, and I really wish I was in the Cleveland this game, is what I was talking about earlier, and you'll see why shortly. But first, we're going to have to duke it out with the enemy quite a wee bit. I'm still just pumping shells into that cloud for no real reason, because the destroyer's probably miles away by now, but you might still be hiding. The enemy ships are all starting to aim at me here though. They're at max range and their accuracy is pretty low, and I'm probably outside the range of a couple of these ships, but they're still shooting at me nonetheless. But it's kind of my fault they're still shooting at me, because I'm still pumping shells in a vain hope of hitting that destroyer, so I'm lighting myself up. So I'm just very lucky the enemy ships don't hit me, because if I did and I took a lot of damage, that would have been completely my fault, and it would have been completely a stupid mistake for the 1 in 100 chance that I was actually going to hit that destroyer to let them have good accuracy on me. And now coming up is a bit I found beautiful. There's a beautiful wee bit. This is the bit I wish I was in the Cleveland. There's lots of airships flying around. I'm in the middle of what feels like a huge epic battle. This is World of Warships at its best. All that was at half speed, so everything was happening twice as fast there in real life. So I was pretty overwhelmed. I was mainly concentrating on keeping myself safe that whole time and pumping out as much anti-air shots as I could. But I need to get the hell out of here. Everyone's zeroing in on me. I need to pull back and let my allies deal with it, and they steam on in. I'm pulling round to the side and I'm going to do some flanking action. But yeah, if I was in the Cleveland there and I had all that lovely anti-air power it's got, and that anti-air ability that the tier 6 and above cruisers have, oh boy, that would have been a ruffle stomp. The number of planes I would have shot down and the number of damage I would have reduced to my team would have been beautiful. Because when you use that tier 6 ability and above, it drastically decreases the range. It's as though there's a squadron of fighters attacking the planes that are attacking you, kind of thing. So my team would have took next to no damage and it would have been a really one-sided battle. But I've came down, now I'm in the middle of the map, which is the flank for the battle of this map, because everyone seems to be in that bottom corner. And we're now spewing some shells at a destroyer, because what do you do when you're in a cruiser, folks? What do you do when you're in a cruiser, folks? But yeah, I turn myself slightly to the right so I can get a broadside on him, and blammo, he is dead and dusted. Turn around, start trying to focus fire on this cruiser with the help of that destroyer right beside me. Launch some torpedoes off as I'm expecting him to come this side of the island so he can keep his fire on us. But he decides to run into the island. How nice of him. Free kill, anyone? Free kill? Yeah, free kill. Not for me though. Now these two guys up here have my attention, and gonna get some of those lovely broadside fire into them. Also using this island to shield me from one of them at a time. Not really much needing to be done there, just drive by it. Didn't even last that long because the island is tiny. Okay, I'm talking about arse here to fill time. I did not drive by that island on purpose. But I was planning to use these two here, but I just didn't get enough time to maneuver myself into a position that I liked, because I was hoping to use the island to cut off the fire angle at me from one of them, so I could fire at one of them, was only taking fire from one of them, except I just really didn't get myself into the right position, but I was at least planning to. If they had both still had quite a bit more health, I think I would have got myself into a good position eventually, but I was concentrating more on keeping my broadside on that ship we're focus firing, until I got too close to the island and I had to turn. But if I pull slightly up more ahead, I'll do exactly what I was planning to do earlier, but just in time for the ship that I would still be firing at to die. So by the time I finally get my rear in gear and do what I was planning, he's gone. And now I have to undo what I just did to get a firing angle on the other ship. My ship's steering has also been taken out, so I can do nothing but drive around in circles, which is going to drive me into the island. So I dropped my speed and I set it to full reverse, which I've just got to wait on my ship reversing. There we go. Wait on the repair, spam the repair button. Now I can get going again. But by the time I get going again and actually start trying to pull towards the fight, my team wins on points. We will win shortly on points. In fact, I'm just going to stop it here so that we're not just listening to me say we're about to win on points over and over again. And there we go, quite a nice victory, a good amount of experience and money. We came top for our team. Just wish we were in the Cleveland. Imagine how much better we would have done in that. And a good amount of everything really. And so that was the Phoenix and some gameplay in it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye folks. Bye bye.